What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to DigiTrip. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be doing something that actually Mike here came up with, titled... So we're calling this Raid Party. Basically, what we're doing is we're talking about video games, whether that is video game culture, new games that are coming out, certain things that we think are interesting to talk about as far as video games. Pretty much, it's going to be a podcast of sorts, but more so just a discussion on video games and what's going on in the industry. Yeah, essentially. So generally, you know how we like to do little monologues, actually, usually with our videos, that or just simple let's plays. Today we're going to actually, Raid Party is always going to be something where it's me, Mike, or a few other people as well, always contributing to some kind of general discussion about like what we think is going on. So that being said, the first topic actually that's coming up is actually one that is pretty trendy right now with games like Call of Duty and Battlefield all announcing them, and that is Battle Royales. Right, so I play a lot of Battle Royales, and I thoroughly enjoy them. Obviously, right now, the biggest game out there is Fortnite. If you haven't heard of Fortnite, then I don't know what video games you're playing. But with that being said, I personally do not play Fortnite a lot. I don't really like it. The other biggest one out there is PUBG, and I thoroughly enjoy PUBG. There are two different types of Battle Royales, and they have a different niche, and Fortnite's doing really well for a certain reason, and PUBG's doing its thing, but basically, they have their audiences, right? And the point is, Battle Royales are the biggest thing right now. And we kind of want to talk about, like, why that is, and just, like, the industry and, like, where it's going because of that. Like, there's a couple interesting things that stem off of that. Like, another thing we're going to talk about is single player, and we're going to touch on that because Call of Duty has announced that they're, well, it's not officially announced, but basically we're pretty sure it's not going to have a single player, and they're going to drop the single player to bring in a Battle Royale mode. Exactly, and that's actually something that we're seeing a lot more of with video games, right? It's always been kind of interesting, I'm sure that you've seen it, is that like video games kind of have a habit of like playing follow the leader. Right. Always, developers always are going to try to jump on the latest trends, right? You had Overwatch, and then once Overwatch came out, you had, what? Paladins. What was that one game that was made by, was it Epic? Yeah. God. Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers. Forgot about Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers that lasted for about what? Right. Maybe like a day? Dude, Lawbreakers is done. And with that being said, actually, the same company, Epic, was it Epic? Yeah, I think. No. Epic makes Fortnite. So no, it's not Epic. It's, well, Cliffy B went to make his own studio. Right. Whatever it is. They came out with another one called Radical Heights. And actually, interestingly enough, Radical Heights is not all that bad. It's nowhere near a polished game. It's damn near an alpha. But it was actually kind of fun to play, and it's free to play right now, which is important because that's one of the biggest reasons why Fortnite does as well as it does. It's across all platforms. All the platforms interact with each other. You can play with everyone cross-platform, which is one of the first games to integrate it in that way. Mobile, PC, Xbox, PS4, it doesn't matter. It's doing it. And with that being said, like, Radical Heights is also free, so this one might take off in its own little way too. And it's interesting because right now, with the way that the industry is going with video games, is Twitch takes a big step to making video games take off. So companies pay streamers to play these games to take them off. I played Fortnite before Fortnite was as popular as it was, and this was before they decided to pay other streamers to play the game, and then it blew up when you have people like Ninja and TSM Myth playing it, right? So maybe this is something that they will do with Radical Heights as well. We'd have to see. Yeah, and so question actually about Radical Heights, because you played a lot more than I did. Do you think that Radical Heights as it stands has enough like differences between the two to actually like justify its existence? Because that's kind of like what Lawbreakers kind of fell into, right, with its own issue, was that like while the game had like the zero gravity element that made it kind of fun, it really wasn't captivating enough to make it stand out from the crowd. Do you think that Radical Heights kind of has that going for it right now? I do and I don't. I think that competition in any genre is always good, and obviously with the success of Fortnite and with the success of PUBG, the other companies want to get in on this. So I think competition is always great. I don't know if another company can do it as well as Epic is doing it with Fortnite, or as Bluehole, or well, it's now PUBG Corporation is doing it with PUBG. I don't know. Can Radical Heights go somewhere? Possibly. The thing is with these Battle Royales is, if you don't do something different in the Battle Royale, they're all the same. So PUBG has its realism, and Fortnite has its complete opposite. It's not real. You can build at them, but people love that, right? Yeah. Radical Heights has to somehow make itself different. And I think they have something here. They just have to polish it. They have a few things like buying from machines and buying health, guns and stuff from machines. Their random drop system is different. I think that in itself is interesting enough. They just have to polish it and deliver it in a way that people are going to care.
Yeah.
So,
now, here's something else, right? So because of this whole explosion that we've got going on now with the Battle Royale game, the fact that you said that games are going to have to do something different and unique is actually a really good point. What do you think that like Call of Duty of all games is going to be able to bring to the table to like change it up? Because like Call of Duty, at least to me, has never really seemed like the kind of like game that can support a battle royale mode, right? Because you don't have bullet drop, you don't have any of the things, you don't have the physics that make these games work, and you certainly don't have the open space.
So I think that's an interesting point. All these games have to do something different, right? And it's something that makes them stand out. Here's what Call of Duty has that these other companies didn't. Call of Duty has a name. They have a big backing, a big company. No matter what happens, people are going to buy Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
You put a Battle Royale, one of the biggest things in the industry right now, on a Call of Duty game, people are going to buy it. It doesn't matter what's going on, people are buying it.
That is true. That is true.
So here's the other thing that I think is very interesting. Everything they do pretty much succeeds.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term, like there's other better games, right? Whatever that can be fought out or whatever. But what they do succeeds. They're still making games and they're still doing what they're doing for a reason, because it sells. Think of it. To me personally, I think a Call of Duty Battle Royale would be great. It doesn't need to have bullet drop or any of those other things, because think about it, Fortnite barely has anything that's realistic about it, and people love it. People love Call of Duty, people love Battle Royales, and here's the other big thing. The biggest people who play Fortnite and PUBG, streamer-wise and stuff like that, the people that matter, the good players, they're playing on PC, because you get a better frame rate, you get better ticks and all that, so you play on PC. Call of Duty has always been better on console. This will be a console BR that
is true.
The casual gamer can pick up and just do whatever they want on and do well. It's exactly what Fortnite is, just I think Call of Duty will be a better version of Fortnite. Now, they need to stick to Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They don't need to try to be Fortnite. They don't need to try to be PUBG. They need to be Call of Duty. It needs to be Call of Duty BR. Think of it with how well Call of Duty did zombies. It needs to be just like that. It needs to be something that Call of Duty is understanding. We're Call of Duty and we're going to stick to the Call of Duty format. It'll be great.
That's going to be the interesting thing. I'm really kind of curious to see how they're going to manage to blend, because Call of Duty's always been tight corridors.
Right.
It's always been arena shooters. So like when you open it up like that to this open world environment, I'm really curious to see. And are they going to do third person, or is it going to stay in first?
I don't think so. This is, what I think Call of Duty is going to do. I think instead of making it to where all these other games, you drop 97 people into a map and you go from there, right? What if you do something like what PUBG is looking to do with a smaller map, maybe a little less concentrated, maybe 50, 60 people in a map, but it's smaller, right? Call of Duty is all about lanes. Most maps have a 3-lane process, and that's how it goes. That's how they build their maps. Think of the same thing, concentrated areas, maybe not 3 lanes, but like a map that's small, drop 50 people in, and it's quicker games, because Call of Duty is all about getting in quick and getting out. That's why Team Deathmatch and stuff like that does so well, because they're quick, right? So quicker matches, people get in and get out. They feel like they're doing more. They can get into matches quicker. So a smaller map, less people, keeps it as a Call of Duty feel. You're not, at that point, you're not making a stray out of what it's known to be. The Call of Duties that didn't do as well, especially multiplayer-wise, were the ones that had the bigger maps. Ghost was a really good game, but where Ghost failed was it tried to be too big. It tried to be a battlefield, and that's not Call of Duty. People didn't like it as much because it took too long to get into engagements. People like Call of Duty because it's quick, like I said. So if you make those small maps, it's quick engagements, people like that. I think Call of Duty would do great if it sticks to that.
That will be really interesting to see how they pull it
off. It would definitely be interesting.
Because also, especially because of how quickly you die.
Right.
Like, are they going to have to also increase, like, the amount of times you can get hit?
It's definitely they're going to have to increase the amount of times that you get hit, for sure. And they're going to have to do something about, like, health regen and stuff like that, which will also be an interesting take on it, because in Call of Duty, you health regen. In any of these other Battle Royales, you do not. You have to pick up items to health regen. It'll be interesting if Call of Duty decides to keep health regen, because at that point, it pushes engagements more. You know, if you don't push that person in 30 seconds, he's gonna have full health again.
And he's gonna push you.
Exactly. So I think if they do this right, this could actually be very good. Like I am excited for a Call of Duty Battle Royale. But then it brings in the question, if they are getting rid of single player for Call of Duty Battle Royale, what does that mean for the market? Because then you're seeing a lot of these games that are not coming out with single players. For instance, Battle Royales are strictly multiplayer.
Yeah.
If Call of Duty doesn't have that, it's going to have Battle Royale, it's going to have multiplayer, and then it's probably going to have a zombies mode like always.
Yeah.
And we're seeing more and more games not have single player, which is interesting because God of War just came out.
Yeah, and it always, and speaking of God of War, it always always see it happen with these AAA developers. These AAA developers are the ones who are trying to break away from, you know, their traditional moldings and, you know, try to break into something, you know, that they consider to be new and fresh. You know, in this case it being, you know, Battle Royale modes. But what's interesting is that, yeah, you mentioned that Call of Duty's ditching its single player. Battlefield might ditch its single player, who knows? I mean, Battlefield never really had a great single player to begin with,
right.
So I mean, like, that's not really going to be a loss. Battlefield started off multiplayer only, and then added a single player that nobody cared about. But, like, the single player in Call of Duty is something that, like, a lot of people got these games for. Like, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2,
Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2.
Yeah, like,
great stories.
Yeah.
But do you think there's a place for stories or single player modes in shooters anymore?
I think so, and the reason why is I'm bringing up Doom, because Doom showed that there is still an extreme demand for games that have single players that are strictly shooters.
Right.
Like, there was really nothing about Doom's multiplayer that stood out. Right. Like nothing about Doom's multiplayer actually stood out as, like, a thing that was, like, really of any kind of noteworthiness, and, like, actually people kind of, like, shat all over it when they were actually talking about it. So I think that, yeah, shooters definitely do still have a place in single player. I think that it's just a matter of, are developers willing to put in the time and effort for it?
Right.
And I think that with a lot of these more expansive, you know, big AAA developers, they don't really think that there is, right? And it's unfortunate because a lot of people played the Call of Duty single players to help themselves get into how the game feels. How
Ghost had a really good one too. Ghost had a
pretty good campaign. Yeah, and, like,
actually, interestingly enough, Ghost's multiplayer was not that great. Actually, probably one of the worst ones ever out. But the single player is what saved that game for me. I like the multiplayer, but when I think back on Ghost, I'm like, that was an amazing story.
Yeah.
So, you know what I think? I think there's definitely a place for single player in shooters still. Definitely a place for single player in video games in general. Obviously, because of, like, games like God of War, you know, you have your Lara Crofts and your Uncharted's and stuff like that, right? But I think we need games to come back like Bad Company or Bad Company 2.
I'm dying for a Bad Company game.
Bad Company 2's multiplayer was fantastic. Like, one of the best multiplayers I've ever played across any ever shooter ever. Like, I played that so much and for forever. It's amazing. But the thing that was great about Bad Company is when I didn't feel like playing the multiplayer, which was hardly ever, that I didn't want to play it, but I could get on the single player and play. I put so many hours into the single player. I played on every single mode there was. I played it on every single mode. I found every collectible. I was, like, trying to run perfect runs. Like, it was like the perfect and quintessential single player campaign. Like,
So Bad Company was like your Doom. Because for me, like, I'm trying so hard to get through Doom, like, on the hardest difficulty, on Ultra Nightmare, and, you know, that's where if you die once, you start the entire game over again.
Right.
And it's the most infuriating thing I've ever done, and you don't need it, actually, to get all the achievement, but it's something that, like, I just want to do, simply because, like, I want to do it. But, like, cycling it back around to, like, you know, the multiplayers and Battle Royales, do you think that Battlefield is going to be able to pull off a Battle Royale mode? Do you think that it works? And there is one other, which you might find interesting. I don't know if you heard about the rumor of this or not, but Grand Theft Auto apparently was saying they wanted to put a Battle Royale mode in.
Well, okay, so let's talk about a couple of things here then. Grand Theft Auto has tried it. They put it in 4 or 5. I'm sorry, Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's like a special mode, or was.
Yeah.
I didn't play it. I don't know if it was good. But Red Dead Redemption 2 has already said they're coming out with a Battle Royale, which I think would work, especially in the sense, and what they would have for them is it's set in a time that has not been done yet.
Yeah.
There's also another Battle Royale coming out. I don't remember the name of it. There's a lot. Marshall went to shoot outside in this location, which actually I don't mind. It's golden hour. We got some good lighting here.
It's beautiful.
I hope it's good lighting.
Yeah. We got
I will bite this wasp. Anyway.
Anyway.
Sorry about this. So there's another battle royale that I heard about that's coming out, and it's going to be set in the Viking era, which will be really cool to see.
That's interesting.
One map with 3 different seasons that you can play on, to give it some randomization and stuff like that. So there's that, and then Battlefield, right?
Mm-hmm.
To talk specifically on Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, and Battlefield, 3 games that have already solidified their spot in their niches.
Mm-hmm.
There's a select group of people who play Battlefield. There's a select group of people who will play Red Dead, and there's a select group of people who play Grand Theft Auto. Each one of these games have thrived in their own way and had their own communities and own niches continue to thrive because they do what they do well, and the people that play them enjoy them. These games haven't died, and they continue to be their thing because of how good they are. Actually, look at it. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2012.
Yeah.
And it's 2018.
And it's still being played right now.
And it's still being played.
Crazy.
That's ridiculous. What Rockstar does very well is they are continually giving content that players care about. They're continually updating their game.
Yeah.
So they're showing pretty much what a lot of game companies are going to do is, instead of putting out a game every year, they're going to start putting out more content.
Games as services.
Right, which I think is amazing.
Really?
So, yeah, because at that point, you create a community. You create somebody who actually cares about your game. If we're going to break out of that thing of Final Fantasy and the MMO, they give you content over a span of time. Or look at WoW. WoW's been going on for damn near 20 years. And it's not dying, and it's continuing to grow because they keep giving you content that people care about.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's most important when it comes to video games, and people don't seem to notice that, is the communities that follow on it. So Twitch, YouTube, these people care about it. Reddit, social media puts a big emphasis on these things. So I'm saying all of that to say, I think these games will do well in their respective niches. Now, if the games overall would be well or good, I don't know. Because if you think about it, Battlefield 1 was great, but not the best Battlefield there was.
And unfortunately, something interesting about that is that people kind of tapered off of Battlefield 1.
Exactly.
It really didn't last as long as everybody kind of thought that it would. And now Battlefield 5 is coming out, which certainly a lot of people are kind of interested in because it's going to World War II. But I mean, I feel like Battlefield 1, it lost an opportunity. I'm wondering if they're thinking that this Battle Royale mode is going to be the thing that makes it last. And on top of that also, do you think now that means that we're not going to see annualized games like Call of Duty? If they focus on a Battle Royale mode, do you think they'll still go with?
I think so.
You think so?
I think it'd be smarter for them to go the route of to scrap annual.
Yeah.
I think actually all these big games should scrap annual, to be completely honest.
Oh, I completely agree.
If you want my honest opinion on Battlefield doing it, I don't think people will care. I don't think it will. Personally, I don't think it will last.
Yeah.
And that's simply because people stopped caring about Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if people were going to care about Battlefield Battle Royale. Whatever the fuck they're going to call it, doesn't matter. I don't know if people will care about it. That's just me being serious. I don't think people will care about it. Grand Theft Auto, same thing. The people who play Grand Theft Auto play Grand Theft Auto.
For Grand Theft Auto.
For Grand Theft Auto. If Grand Theft Auto puts out a Battle Royale, they'll probably play it, and they'll enjoy it, and the people that play it will enjoy it. Again, though, I don't know if people will care. I don't play Grand Theft Auto because I want to play a Battle Royale. Grand Theft Auto in itself is kind of a Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I play Grand Theft Auto because I want to run around, steal cars, shoot people, do things that I will never do in real life because I'm a sensible adult. But that's what I want. I can go out and play a Battle Royale that I care about.
Yeah.
I.e. PUBG. If I want to play a Battle Royale and I want to act like I'm a Navy SEAL and I'm going to destroy everyone around, I go play PUBG. I don't need that in my Grand Theft Auto. To be completely honest, I don't need that in my Battlefield. The only two that I would think it would be interesting to do it in, because they could have a unique spin on it, would be Call of Duty, because Call of Duty brings forth the casual gamer and everyone, and then Red Dead, because Red Dead can put a unique spin on it. Sorry for keep hitting you.
No, it's fine.
That's what I think. I don't think people will care about Grand Theft Auto or Battlefield, just because that's just how those games work. You either care about it or you don't. And the majority of the time, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Battlefield has its niche and its thing. There's select games that stand out. For instance, like Battlefield 3 did very well. Battlefield 4 did decently well. And then if you go back, obviously Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2 did amazingly.
Yeah, they were all great.
Right. So there's certain games. So that's not to say that they can't come out with something that everybody will love. But if I'm putting my stock in it, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, and I think I kind of agree because you play these games like your Battlefield, your Call of Duties, your Red Deads, your Grand Theft Autos for very specific reasons, like you said. And if PUBG and Fortnite already exist, why am I going to play your watered down version when they all focus on this one thing?
Also, if you take into mind, Fortnite's free.
Yeah,
PUBG, $30. Is it 40 now?
I think it's 40.
It might be 40. I got it when it was 30 because I got it before the actual launch. I got it alpha.
Yeah.
But either way, these AAA companies are going to put out a game that's $60. Why would I play $60 when I can play Fortnite for free and Fortnite is bigger and has more support? People love Fortnite and keep loving Fortnite because Fortnite keeps updating. It goes back to that same thing we were just saying about giving content. The thing that AAA companies aren't going to be able to offer, one is the price point, and two, the content. Fortnite is fresh, it's original, and they keep it coming. Yeah. PUBG is not as quick and good as Fortnite, but they're getting there and they're learning. They came out with a couple events that were ridiculously fun.
They're so much fun.
There was an event that was basically you drop in a small circle, 3 teams of 10, and you just go at it. Super fun.
Oh my god, yeah.
More fun than a regular game. But what they're doing right now is they're testing things like this to see what people will like. So but that's what you need. These smaller companies have something to prove, and I think they're going to change the market when it comes to how games are made.
Oh, I think they already have.
Right, it's very interesting what Battle Royales are doing. They're completely changing everything because everybody wants to be a Battle Royale, but their business team or marketing, whatever you want to call it, is changing everything.
Which is really interesting because, I don't know if, you followed as much as I did, but, nobody paid attention to Battle Royale games when they first came out.
No, definitely.
Nobody cared about PUBG. Nobody cared about Fortnite at first either.
Well, it's like I said, they paid. And see, this is another thing, to touch on how these smaller companies are doing things. They understood social media. They understood the importance of streamers. They understood the importance of YouTubers. What they did was they reached out to streamers and they said, we will pay you a certain amount of money to play these games. Streamers did that and they ended up liking the games and they kept playing them.
Yeah.
So, again, they're changing the mode because they're understanding social media and content creators and their part in today's society. People don't really care about TV anymore. They consume other content online. So these online faces, these online characters are the next face of things. You got your Jerichos, your Ninja, Dr. Disrespect. These people are huge in their market. I mean, Ninja brought in consecutive viewers for hours of 600,000 people. 600,000 people consecutively tuned in to watch Ninja play a video game because he was playing with Drake.
Yep. And he made $20,000. And
$20,000? $20,000? No, he made more than that.
He made more than $20,000?
$200,000. Now listen to this. This is what's even more interesting is Ninja consecutively now. I've been watching Ninja for a while before he blew up.
Yeah.
Ninja had 500, maybe 1,000 viewers. Then Summit hosted him a few times, and he got a little bit more. Summit sits around 15 to 30,000. Dr. Disrespect sits around that too. Dr. Disrespect was killing the game with all the what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
What's it called when you? He was getting all the records. I don't like records.
Records, okay.
Dr. Disrespect was getting all the records, most subscribed, most viewed, consecutive viewers, blah, 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 right? Ninja comes along, best Fortnite player there is. Fortnite's the biggest game in the world because everybody knows what it is, and Ninja's destroying that. Ninja now sits around 130,000 viewers per stream.
That is insane.
Insane. Consecutive, at least 100,000 people watching his stream.
Yeah.
He's all over media because this is now showing the world what kind of platform the internet is for the future. Everybody's gonna start consuming their stuff online, and everybody's gonna start understanding and taking video games more seriously because you have a platform like Twitch. Battle Royale has completely changed everything in a way that they probably didn't even think would
they
happen.
had no idea that this is going to happen. Now, here's a question. Do you think that Battle Royale is here to actually stay? That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Do you think that Battle Royale is here to stay, or do you think that this is going to be a trend that dies out?
If you had asked me this back last year when I first started playing PUBG, I would have said, no way, this isn't going to last. We're a year in, or almost a year in, to Battle Royales really picking up, and it's not slowing down. No. Battle Royales are here to stay. It's a type... Look, gaming has been stale for quite a while. I'm not going to sit here and lie. We had the same things. We had our Battlefields, we had our Call of Duties, and, you know, they're great single-player games. Uncharted, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're just going to keep going.
Assassin's Creed.
Right? Assassin's Creed, perfect example of everything's a sequel, everything's the damn same. Nobody seems to care anymore. Battle Royales came out, and they're different. And they're different in a way that will last because it's addicting. It's addicting. You want to be better, you want that first place, or you want to get better at it. They have something special that they've touched on that no one else seemed to grab onto that. I don't know why. People love being competitive, and this makes you competitive to your core, but it's not competitive in the sense of where you feel like it's unobtainable. It's completely obtainable to be good enough on Battle Royales. So that's why people play it so much. They're like, every time you get on, you feel like you do better. It's like a grasp on, or a good way to see how you're doing better. Like, people can kind of feel it, hold it in their hands.
Even I got a chicken dinner.
Right. And once you get one, you can't stop.
You can't stop.
You can't stop. So Battle Royales aren't going anywhere, dude. Like, they're Battle Royales are here to stay, and I think it's fine. I think that's perfectly fine.
So, MMOs, right?
Right.
Then the MOBA.
Right.
Then the multiplayer shooter.
Right.
Like Overwatch. Now Battle
hero
Royales.
shooter. Yeah.
Now Battle Royales after the hero shooter. What's if next? You had to take a guess is going to be the next trend? If you had to guess any kind of game mechanic, what is going to be the thing that's going to make it stay?
You know what I think will make it stay? To be completely honest, it's not going to be... We're not going to have anything big and epic for a couple years, to be completely honest. I think the next big thing that's going to take gaming by storm is going to be something like Ready Player One. Fully immersive gaming, augmented reality, whatever the case may be, that's going to be the next biggest thing.
Oh man, jumping straight to Sword Art Online territory.
I mean, it has to be. That's going to be the next biggest thing. It's probably not going to happen for a good 10 years, but think about how long it took for us to get something like BRs. The gaming market has been stale for so long, and then all of a sudden we got Overwatch, the hero shooter genre that didn't exist. Then you get BRs, and they're just firing off rapidly. PUBG and all these, the thing is, when you have something new and a fire's lit under someone's ass, everything happens, right? Yeah. Everything great changes. So there's going to be that one company, who knows who it's going to be, that's going to come out of nowhere, or maybe it's a company we know, and they're going to come out of nowhere with something and be like, we figured out how to give you a fully immersive, full dive type of game, and it's going to take off. And it's going to take off. There's no way it wouldn't. And then if you think about that and you think about the way it did in Ready Player One, I mean, the movie didn't touch on it too much, but in the book, it then becomes something that the whole world's a part of. You can have online places that you hold your business. You get and it's actually interesting. In the book came out in 2011, and it talks about how currency goes down and the actual money doesn't mean anything. But the most valuable currency is this currency that is virtual because the value is there, and it doesn't have all that inflation crap that have to go with it.
He's wanted to talk about this book for so long. He's finally getting the chance to talk about this book. But I mean, on YouTube.
It relates because if you think about it, we're having that issue right now.
Yeah.
Our money's starting to not mean crap, and you see the uptick of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
This is going to be the next big thing. Gaming is already on the rise, and people are seeing that it's a viable way of income and different things like that. Companies are going to start, because all they care about is money. They're going to start looking into ways to make this happen.
Yeah.
And with Ready Player One coming out, trust me, there's a company out there looking at that and being like, holy shit, why didn't we do this? It's gonna happen. That's the next big thing. It's gonna happen.
I think that if I had to take a guess about what the next big subgenre, I mean, it's hard to predict because it hasn't been made yet, right? But if I had to take a guess at the next big thing that's gonna come back, now this might sound kind of surprising, but I think that single player games are gonna make a comeback. I genuinely do. And the reason why I think that single-player games might make a comeback, and they might be some kind of like change or shift in how it's done, but the reason why I think that is because you've got God of War, Nier Automata, all the Uncharted games, Skyrim, right? The open world genre became a huge thing after Skyrim came out. I think that we're going to get something in the single-player genre that's going to blow up everything, and I think that, you know, it might not get as huge as like VR games, but something is going to happen, I think, in single players that's going to make people go, you know what? Maybe there is still a market in this. Maybe that's also just me being completely hopeful, you know, because I love single player games. But I think that, you know, there will be something that's going to happen because we keep getting these single player games that push the bar, you know, a little bit further. And people, you know, while everyone primarily focuses on
my phone.
Yeah, no problem. While people primarily focus on multiplayer games, I think that there's going to be something like Skyrim again that's going to come out and it's going to blow everybody's mind, and I think that'll be it. Who knows?
I mean, I don't disagree. I think everything comes full circle. Everything comes around. It's not out of reach. But I think instead of single player becoming something as big as Battle Royale, I think it will just become a niche thing again. Something like what all these other games are, MMOs or
MOBAs.
MOBAs and hero shooters.
How quickly that kind of trend just vanished, right?
Which one?
The hero shooters.
Well,
Overwatch was the biggest thing. And
I don't think it's not that it vanished because Overwatch is still doing great. Overwatch League is doing amazing. Everyone else gave up.
Yeah.
Because no one could touch Overwatch. Nothing any other company put out was as good as Overwatch. The only one that's like even close, I think it's Paladins, and it's still not even close.
Not even close.
So it's just because certain companies are doing it so well, or Blizzard is doing it so well, no one else can touch them. If you think about it, League of Legends is doing so well that any other MOBA isn't touching it. Like Heroes of the Storm is a good game, but it's not touching League.
Neither is Smite.
Nothing.
Dota 2 might be the only thing.
Dota 2 is the only thing that's close or better as far as numbers are concerned. But that's like specific niche games. Like all these companies throw their hats into certain things, and not all of them stick.
Yeah, the MOBA game genre, we're not getting any more MOBAs.
Nope.
Like MOBAs just aren't, nobody cares.
No.
Or rather, it's not that nobody cares, but none of the big publishers care about MOBAs anymore. And I guess they've kind of accepted the same fate with hero shooters. So we'll have to see if, you know, they're going to be able to take some of that pie, like, you know, away from PUBG and Fortnite, or are they going to be like, oh, wait, nope, we lost the opportunity. Sorry, we can't do it.
Right.
But it's getting a little bit late.
Yep.
We're starting
to lose our light.
We're starting to lose our light. Any closing thoughts on any of this?
No, I like the way this went. Like I might have said this earlier, I'm not sure, but maybe we'll do this again where we shoot in different locations. Right now we're shooting at the riverfront. I might show you guys something like that. But either way, I think it's cool to like do these things in different situations. But also, I enjoy this. I think it's something that we should do more often. Also, Digitrip has not been posting a lot or any at all. And this is actually the first time that you guys are seeing me. So my name is Mike, aka Vironic. For the most part, what I do on YouTube is I do vlogging and like cinematic type stuff. So I will be bringing that type of feel and vibe to this channel.
And magic.
Bring the best content we can and just share our ideas and the way that we do our videos. Very different styles, but put them together and it can be something. So with that being said, I just want to say I'm going to do all that I can to make sure that Digitrib puts out weekly content. Raid Party is something that I'm taking control of, so it will be here every week as long as I have something to say about it. And I just think that you guys should stick around and see what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I definitely appreciate it. You know, we're getting to use his fancy camera and stuff, so this is gonna be the first time that we're gonna have like a professional quality camera recording all this stuff. And you know, I mean, hey, we're definitely grateful for you know, having you on the channel.
I'm gonna edit it too. So.
Okay, awesome. Wow, he's gonna edit it too. All I gotta do is send him game clips. He's gonna do all the work. It's great. It's great. I don't have to do anything. But yeah, no, we're definitely appreciative that, you know, that you're a part of the team. Mike has been helping me out a ton behind the scenes and motivationally and everything like that, so getting to have his face on here is fantastic. I was actually totally gonna hype you up for your YouTube channel and everything, but he totally beat me to that. So then, with that, our closing statement is basically here. You know, what did you guys think of this? Do you like this kind of format? Let us know down in the comments below, and there may be some annotations somewhere on here. Mike probably knows how to do that to make them pop up, you know, about other videos that we talk about, and hopefully we start doing this stuff a lot more frequently.
And the only other thing that I want to add to those closing statements, Raid Party is supposed to be a discussion. comments, anything that we want to talk about gaming-wise. But it's not only just us. This is a community. That's what we want DigiTrip to be. So if there's anything that you want to talk about or hear us chime in on when it comes to video games or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, if there's something that you were interested in, leave a thumbs up. That lets us know that you want to see it more. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and tell your friends if you like it. Anyway, guys, it's been Veronic.
And DigiTrip, we're out.